I already started the recording on this. I'm screen recording this. Let's see. Okay, I'm about to screen share. Y'all let me know if y'all can see my screen. Hold on real quick. Can everybody see it alright? Alright, I think everybody can see my screen. Alright, so the website I want everybody doing their markups on is tradingview.com. Everything is the data is more clear on here and stuff, so you'll be able to mark up and have the most accurate data you can. So I recommend everybody using TradingView for their chart markups whenever we mark up charts. MT4 is fine, but it's just a little outdated. This is more modern. So I'm getting to it. Probably just start with the most common pair, the Euro USD. Since it's the most popular pair, we'll just go ahead and start with that. Use it as an example. I wonder why it's going to the pound Jappy. I just put it in the Euro USD. Hey yo, Junior, try turning your camera off, brother. I wonder why this is taking so long. There it goes. You should be able to turn it on. There should be like a video button, like a camera and a microphone. You can just click both. It'll mute your mic and mute your video. Alright, so here's the Euro. Let's see. Let me erase all this real quick. So today I'm just going to go over support and resistance zones. Just strictly those for now. I'll get into all the more advanced stuff, how to trade with them and the candle patterns and all that stuff later on. I'm just going to go over strictly support and resistance zones today, so everybody gets the basic concept on that, because they are the most important thing to know. Let's see if this thing would hurry up. Focus this time. There it is. Let's see. everything looks good to go. All right, to start your support and resistance, you want to start on the you want to start from the highest time frame to going down to a lower time frame. That way you know which support and resistance zones are stronger than the others. The higher the time frame, the more stronger and the more significant the support resistance zone is. So I'm gonna go to my time frames, and I will start on the monthly, which is the highest time frame. I'll zoom out so I can get a whole overlook over everything. All right, there we go. You want to start marking your support resistance zones on the monthly chart. An easy way to find where the support resistance is basically where the market has held for a while or where there were bounces. Like right here, there was a bounce here, bounce here. So there's some kind of support resistance somewhere in here, in these areas. See, there's a bounce here, bounce here. See how it's like all of them are in the same area around here. So we know there's support resistance somewhere in this area. Since it plays as resistance on this part, it comes up, hits it like there's some kind of ceiling there, and then it falls from there. So we know there's some strong support resistance here in this area too. It came over here, hit the same area. It fell for 3 months, and then over here it plays as a counterpart. It's playing as support on this other side of the market. Comes down, hits it, hit in this area, and it bounces up. Comes down, same area, bounces up, goes up for a couple of months. Here's a good way to find the support resistance zones. The way I use it, the easiest way is to go to a line chart. Basically, you see like the overturns of the points in the market. Wherever the market has failed more than once, that's where you will place your zone. You will go here and you just select the horizontal line. These are how we're going to mark up our support and resistance. And what I do is the different time frames, I select a different color of horizontal line for it. That way I can tell which is my monthly, which one is my daily, which one's my weekly, my 4 hour, etc. So I change the colors of the support resistance zones depending on the time frame. The monthly, I usually make mine's purple. Purple, it really doesn't matter what color you choose. It's just all up to you. This is how I know it's a monthly support resistance because of the purple color. I'll just pick that. And right here, there was some strong support resistance because it was a peak high and it just dropped for years after that. So I know there's some strong support resistance there. And if I place it here, you'll be able to see. Let me see. Oh, there it goes. It's acting up. And if you're not sure if it's a good support resistance, then just switch it back to candlesticks, and as you can see it's a really good zone. See, you can see it failed here. You can see some wicks to it right here. It hit it right here, failed, hit it right here, failed, hit it right here, held it, failed, hit it right here, failed. So you see I mark it up over here, and it failed once, two, three, four. It failed 4 times. So it's a really, really strong zone. As long as it fails more than once, then it is a significant, it's a significant zone. So we know we have a strong monthly support resistance zone right here. So it makes sense. So we'll go back to the line chart. Right here is a good one because it fell twice up here, and it dropped massively from peak high. This is the highest it's ever been in history. Is this price point? So we go to switch to a candlestick chart again. You see, makes sense. Hit it. Try to try to uh, try to break it. It failed. You see all the wicks to you see all the wicks to it too, where you can see the buyers try to push up and break through it, but sellers took control, pushed price down back below it, and it ended up closing below this support resistance zone. So therefore it dropped. Let's see. Let's go back to the line chart. Go to pick the horizontal line again. Let me see real quick. I want to say this is a strong support resistance zone as well because there's a strong bounce off of it. Even though it's only like it only failed 1 time in history, I would I would say it's a strong support resistance because of how strong the bounce is right there. There's obviously some strong support and resistance here. If it came, hit it, and dropped for more than half a year, tried to come up here too. You could say it basically failed up here too, even though it didn't technically touch it, but it came near it, closed below it, and then dropped from there as well. So I'm gonna say this is a strong support resistance area too. Go back to the line chart. Let's see. I would say, let me see, line these up. I would say right here as well because it fails right here. It's once, it fails right here, failed right here, and then when it broke through it right here, came back down to it, it failed it. It failed to break it. So it now it's acting as support and pushed the market up. Came over here, failed it. Right here, it held it for a little bit. It still broke through, but you can see a strong support resistance because it held it right here, failed, failed. As long as you see, more than 1 point to that area, basically. Because right here, you come up here, you see the point. It's 1 point, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5 different points to that area. So it's significant as long as it fails or holds. Okay, let's go to the next one. Also, I would say this one right there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, So 5 overturns to that. You know, as long as it's more than one, then it's good. You can mark it up and leave it. I would say I'll say right here is the next zone. 1, 2. You know, felt over here. Like if I switch to a candlesticks, you can see it. You see how it played its part. So here's wicks. Wick to it. Failed. Came up, broke past above it. Didn't break it, so push the market up. Let's go back to line chart. This is a really good zone as well. See right here, failed. Came up here, failed. Try to break through it, failed. Pushed up, failed. See, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times. So that one's really strong. That's basically all you do. You just find where it fails more than once. If it don't fail more than once, then don't mark it unless it's like a very peak high or peak low like these. Here's a really good zone as well. Failed right here. Failed right here. Failed right here. And right here. So you can see it. Wait, they didn't. Where did I mark this up? Oh, right here. You can see the long wick to it as well. When you switch it back to a candlestick, you can see where the wicks are. You won't be able to see in the line chart because it only shows the closing prices. But on here, you can see the wicks, like right here, this long wick. And this is a monthly wick, so it came up here, and then sellers took control. As soon as they hit this support resistance, pulled the market back down. So everything's in line right now. So just go back. Everything looks good. Let's see. I want to say this area as well. Fails right here, fails right here, fails right here. So I'll say this is a good area as well. Right here it's acting as resistance because it's under the market, and then it breaks through it, comes back down to it, acts as support. Same here, acts as support on the upside of the market. So that's a good zone. Here's another one. Fails right there, fails right here, acts as support, pushes it up a bit before it breaks through it, and then right here acts as support as well. So this is a good zone as well. So we're gonna keep that one. And when you do your markups on TradingView, and if you make an account first, it's free. But uh, once you make your markups, it saves them for you, so you don't have to like redo all your support and resistance zones. So once you get it out of the way the first time, then you'll be all right. You'll be all right for a while. Let me see. Try to find some more. I'd say right here, because the market fails right there, pushed up, hit this other monthly resistance before it fell, before it breaks this one. But still, the price is held here, so I'm gonna put one there. Price has failed here, acted as resistance, and then over here as well. Recently, it acted as resistance, pushed the market down. So you can see how this helps you predict the future, because once you have your support resistance zones, you know they go past where the market is, so you know where to look for your trading opportunities. So we know recently, or a couple months ago probably, the market hit a zone, a monthly one. Let's continue marking it up. Put one right here for. So here's another one. Prices failed right here, here. Broke. It went past it a little bit, but ended up closing above it. So we'll say it failed here too. Then you can see how prices were just playing around in this area. Prices were holding for a while until finally pushed it down. Yeah, Albert, we'll do the pound Jappy next. I'm just showing people the Euro USD because it's the most common. We'll say right here as well because prices fell here, here, then they fell right here as well when prices were consolidating between these two zones. Or prices fell twice over here. Once here, once here. So that one's good. As long as it's more than once. We'll say right here. Prices fell here, 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 right here. So that's a good zone. Let's see. Let's see what he said. Obviously, there's strong support down here. See how prices bounce. See the bounce off of this zone. Prices went up for years. So we're gonna leave that one because it's a swing low, just like I told you about this one being a swing high. This is a swing low. This is the lowest the market has ever went, the lowest price point the market has ever came to. Let's see. This as well fails here. Acts as support, fails under it, acts as resistance. Let me see how this looks. I'm gonna say right here as well. Hold on. Say right here too, because there's some strong bounces off this area, and you can see where it wicked it when you switch it to a candlestick. That's why I switch it to candlestick. That way helps me understand if it makes sense. And I can see prices came here, wicked it, and bounced off of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bounced off it for 5 months. But you can see how these support resistance zones play well. Just look at all of them through the market. All the ones I placed. Let's see the wicks down here to this. See right here, this is the live market right now. You can see how these zones play. See how it came down here, hit this support resistance zone, retraced a bit, practically all the way to the next zone, and then dropped some more. So we're done with the monthly. Then from there I would just go down to the weekly time frame. Now when y'all mark up y'all's support resistance, do not go lower than the 4-hour time frame. This is the lowest time frame you're gonna mark your support resistance on, is the 4-hour. So we'll just do the monthly, the weekly, the daily, and the 4-hour, and then we'll stop there. Because anything below the 4-hour is very minor, so you don't want to get confused and faked out. So we just go off the higher time frames. You know, like I said, the higher the time frame, the stronger the zone. So we don't want to trade anything less than the 4-hour, or we'll just end up getting faked out and stuff like that with minor zones. So we're not even bothered with that. Well, I'm gonna go down to the weekly now. Since I'm on a different time frame, I want to switch the colors of the horizontal line so I know what time frame it's from and how strong it is. I'm gonna go ahead and do green for the weekly. Same stuff. You just zoom out, switch to a line chart. You know, zoom out as much as you can. I didn't mean to place that. Sorry. Okay. All right. We're gonna switch it back to a line chart. Let's see. So right here, there's some kind of support resistance. See it hit it right here, right here, right here, and right here. So we'll leave that one. see. There's another one right there. Oh wait, I didn't even click my line. The hell, I didn't even click that one. Right here. What the? I wonder why it keeps doing that. Anyways, it fails right here, right here, right here. Come over here, hit its act as resistance. Fails right here. Fails right here. So we'll just keep that one. It fails more than once, so we'll just go ahead and keep it. I wonder why it keeps putting it in the wrong place. Fails right here, and over here. So we're gonna keep that one. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I'll let you know the locations of everyone. I guess I'll just like write down all the locations for the support resistance on every pair that I do, so y'all can have them. But I'll do that afterwards when I'm done with the webinar. Try to figure this out. Let's say right here because prices failed 1, 2, 3, 4 times. 5, 6, 7. Alrighty, I'll talk to you later, Albert. Don't look like there's much weekly support resistance. Let's say right here, fails right here, drops a couple weeks, fails right here, drops a couple months. Let's see if we can find any more. There's another one right here. Fails right here, bounces, breaks through it, comes back to it, bounces off it again, acts as support. It's 1, 2, 3. So it's 3 right there, that one's good. As long as it's more than once. see, right. And a good way to find them also is to like line up your crosshair with one of these points and see look at the dotted line go across the chart, and you'll see where it fails, like right here and right here. See, I lined it up right here with my crosshairs right there. I look to the right and seeing that prices failed a couple more times. So I know there's one right here, support resistance. I think that'll be it for the weekly chart. How do you determine a take profit? Okay, Brian, I determine a take profit based on where the next support resistance zone is. So if like let's say you know, I see prices have, you know, let me see. Let me zoom in. Like for an example, let's say I see prices have failed at this resistance area. I would know where to put my my stop loss and my take profit based on the support and resistance zones. Let me switch to a candlestick chart real quick. So if I was on a lower time frame, since this is the weekly time frame, like let's say I was like on a 4-hour chart, I'd be able to see like a reversal pattern up here, somewhere around this resistance area. So once I see a reversal pattern and I see that prices are not gonna break this and they're gonna reverse, then I will put my stop loss um, above like 20 pips, 30 pips, between 20 to 30 pips. I put my stop loss 20, 30 pips, you know, above my trade, and have it, you know, above the resistance, because more than likely it's not gonna come back up here and break it, because they already failed. It already made the candle pattern that it failed. So you would take it, you know, your stop loss would be 20, 30 pips, you know, above this, whatever. And then you would take it to the next support resistance zones. So you would put your take profit like 10 to 15 pips above this area. So I'd have my take profit like right here, you know, a little above it. So that's where I know where to exit, and this is how I know when to enter and when to exit. Once you enter a trade, your exit would be the next zone, the next support resistance zone. You would have your take profit before it hits that. So that's how I always know where to put my take profits at, based on support resistance. You'll be able to see it. Okay, let me see. Okay, we're done with the weekly. We're almost done with this, so let me go to the daily chart. So you can see when I go to a lower time frame how much more space is in between the support resistance. The wow, what is today? Saturday. The euro, it looks like a head and shoulders pattern too. There's the left shoulder right here. Here's the head. It just made the right shoulder, so you know we could look. If we were to trade the euro USD this week, we would look to sell it because of the market pattern that it made. Plus, you know, it closed above this resistance right here. Came up to it close. It came close to it, but you could tell it closed already because of this this candle pattern. You see the bearish candle. The bears took over. The sellers took over. So it looks like a head and shoulders pattern. This is the left shoulder. This is the head. It's the right shoulder. You already painted it, so I mean, you could look to take prices. You could look to short if you were if you were gonna put a take profit, you would put it like, right here, a little above the support resistance zones, just to be safe, because you know, you want to look at support and resistance zones as areas of prices having the potential to reverse. So you don't want to lose your trade, you don't want to lose the profit you got in. So the safest way is to put your take profits, above the next zone. That's how you know when to exit. So let's see. Let me switch to a line chart. Oh, I already see some zones already. I'm gonna make the daily ones. Mm, I'll go with blue. I'll make my daily blue. So let's see. With this little crosshair, you can see the dotted lines. So just put them like on points and look across your chart. Look left and look right. See if prices have failed there. If they have, then you can mark it. Prices failed here, here, here. Broke through it. Came back, retested it, failed. You could have sold that to this zone, but prices failed there, so that's another one. Prices failed here, so you can just see all the bounces off you know off this area. So that's a daily support resistance. Right here, right here. Prices came up above it, held a little bit, ended up breaking through it. So you can just see how everything plays its part based off the support resistance. Let's see if I can find another. Let's see. I would say right here as well. Oh, I didn't even select this. Alright. Prices failed here. See that bounce? See that bounce? Prices stalled a little right here. See that bounce right here? See where prices try to hold, but it held it for a little bit. Broke through it. See where it held right here. So it fell more than once, so it's a good zone. We'll just keep it. Let's see. I would say right here. Prices failed here, held, bounced up, hit here, came back down here, broke through it, failed here, so we're going to keep that one. Whoa, that's way too much. Huh. Alright, we're almost done here, guys. Let's just do this daily in the 4 hour. Let me see anything. Wait. I'd say right here as well. See, price failed right here, failed right here, failed right here, right here, right here, held right here, failed right here. So we know it's an alright zone to have. Let's see. Failed right here, here, right here. We're just gonna go ahead and keep this one. We're done on the daily. So you can see how the market acts with these zones. See, look, for example, right here, you see the market came up to a monthly support resistance, painted a candle pattern, broke through the daily support resistance, came back up, failed to try to break it, and then you could have sold it from here to here. You would put your take profit right here. That's how you execute a trade. Could have caught some nice pips on that, even though it did break, broke through all these. But you want to play it safe, so you want to exit at the next zones always. Don't get greedy, because greed is one of the main killers in Forex. So you just want to be happy with what you can get from whatever your next zone is where your take profit's going to be. Just be happy with what you get for the day. Let's see. I'm gonna make my 4-hour red. Switch it back to a line chart so you can see everything. Okay, let's see. Let's say right here. Thought I just selected it. I wonder why it took it off. I didn't even put my line there. I put it right here. But somehow it like found its own support resistance zone. But anyways, you can see it fell here on the 4-hour. Fell here. Fell here. Held prices. Came up to it. Felled it. We'll keep that one. We'll go ahead and use this one. Prices fell here. Came up. Bounced back under it. Retraced it. Touched it. Felled. Felled here. Held it for a little bit. And eventually broke through it. We'll just go with that one since it's more than once. Hit it there. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that one's a good. We'll put one here. Prices fell there, there. Come down here. So that one's a good zone. If you're not sure, you can always like just put a horizontal line and just try to match it up with these points. See where it makes sense. Let's look right here, it makes sense. 1, 2, 3. Here's another one. One, two, three. You can see, like, as I zoom out, how this line plays its part across the chart. See that? Failed, failed. But you don't even have to go that. You don't even have to zoom out that more for the 4 hour, or zoom out that much for the 4 hour. As long as you get the, the most recent ones that are around the price, the current price, and you'll be all right. I think that's all those zones I'm gonna mark up for now. Everything seems to be in place. So now I would just go back to a candlestick chart. Now you can see what's going on with the euro. You can see it broke through the daily, broke through the 4 hour. It actually looks like, let me see. It actually looked like it came up and retested it, and probably will drop more and break through this one. Go to 1 hour. Let's check it out. Yep. Once you have your support resistance zones, now you have a whole better outlook on what's gonna happen. Just wake up in the mornings. Everybody knows what time I wake up. I usually wake up between 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time. So whatever time in between then is when you're gonna look for basically what I'm looking for is a setup around that time. All I'm looking for is a candle pattern on a support resistance zone, and if it goes with the trend, then more than likely you're gonna win it. So like right here, let's say it's early in the morning. It's overall in a downtrend. You see prices have broke through the daily. You see prices are felling. There's a wick right here, so there's a little clue that the markets may continue to go downwards. Comes back up, and then you see this engulfing candle, this bearish one right here. So this right here, this is on the hour chart too. So each candle is an hour, and if it, if I see it around, my trading time, if I see a setup like this, I see prices have failed, and it has pushed like right here, pushed below it, then I would short it. I'll short it from here, up until here. My take profit will be around this area. Now that's a good. See how much pips that is. Hold on, I'm using my calculator real quick to see how much pips that is. Real quick. 2. That would have been like 100. That would have been like 100 pips right here, from here to here. This is your next area, your next zone. So this is how you know where your take profit would be. And then your stop loss would be 20 pips above this, above your trade. That way, if you are wrong and prices don't go as accordingly as you wanted them to, you'll just take a small loss and you take it the other way, basically. Make what you lost back and just take a small loss. Let's see. So I'm done marking my charts up on support resistance for this pair. Is there any pairs that anybody wants me to look at to mark up for y'all? Does anybody have any questions about any of this? Junior said the scanner. I don't know if you heard, Junior, but the two top leaders of that Global Visionaries already dropped out. They made a video, like I think yesterday or 2 days ago, talking about how they left IML already. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people are about to leave since their two top leaders left. Went with Reza. So everybody got the basic concept of how to mark up support resistance. See how well see how well I drew everything. Look at that. Look how prices held. Boom. Prices held here, pushed it down. Made that nasty wick right here. As soon as you see this, I would have shorted this. Sunny disposition and adorable will. I will be doing I will start showing everybody my markups on whatever pair that anybody wants me to do, like later on, I will mark it up and show my predictions. Mark, I've been trading 2 years now. Um, I guess you could say the first year I really wasn't. I was still like, searching around, seeing what actually works, what doesn't. I lost thousands of dollars trading, but I just never gave up on it. I always seen the potential in it, and I finally found out, what actually works and how the how the successful people trade using price action. And it's really, I used to think like every newbie trader thinks. A lot of indicators will help me, and a lot of custom indicators, like all this garbage you see nowadays. People's charts just filled up with all this stuff, and it really just confuses you. And that's not how the actual successful traders trade. You know, I found out, they use price action. I studied it, and I finally seen that the more clearer you trade, the more naked your chart is, the easier it is to trade, and how it clears your mind of all that stuff that confuses you. Basically, more indicators and more confusion. That's the way I put it. The only indicators that I really use, and I really don't even have to use them. I don't. They're not like I need them or anything. But on my MT4, I have some moving averages, but that's about it. I just use moving averages for the trend of the market. But that's basically the only indicator I use. Uh, sometimes I'll use Fibonacci. I'll get into how to use how to use Fibonacci and stuff like that. And I actually have a book, a Forex book in the Forex book section on the website of of a book. It's called like the Fib. It has Fibonacci in the title. I think it's called like the Fibonacci book or something like that. But that teaches you like everything you need to know about Fibonacci, into debt and all that stuff. So if you want to learn more about Fibonacci, you can check out that book. And the time frames I do use to trade, I just trade the lowest time frame I trade off of is the 1 hour. I recommend the same. I don't want anybody trading off anything less than an hour chart, because you could easily get faked out and stuff like that. So I don't want people panicking or anything like that. So I want everybody to trade off the 1 hour or higher. But this webinar is recorded, so you can go back and replay it if you want to. I'm going to upload this to the training section on the website. And then the next webinars I'll go over like candle patterns, and I'll go over trend lines, how to use trend lines, how I personally use trend lines. Uh, the only two things I actually use are support and resistance and trend lines. It's basically like the most I'd use, and my trading's been high percentage that way. I will later on I'll tell everybody. I'll help everybody with the more mental, like I guess you could say more mental training on the psychology and stuff like that, working on your patience, waiting for the setup to happen, not just jumping in before it actually paints. I want I want people waiting until the candle paints. That's when you enter a trade. If you like jump on board, before the candle paints, and there's still like 30 minutes till it paints, and ends up painting into, you know, a different candle that you would not expect, and you can get trapped and stuff like that. So, you know, I want everybody to work on their patience and time trading. Just you know, the whole psychology factor. That way, we'll have the strategy on point and we'll have the mentality on point. Those are the two main ones you need, especially the mentality. So we get everybody's mentality in the right state. That way, everybody can take their trades with confidence. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording though.